Open your banking app, go to your transaction history, and find that one purchase. You know the one. The one that every time you see it gives you that tiny, sharp pang of regret in your chest. Now, here's the thing. Why did you buy that, even though you knew better? I'm not talking about an impulse buy because you were hungry or tired. I'm talking about the purchase where you did the homework. You read the reviews, you watched 3 separate 15-minute YouTube deep dives. You even told your partner or a friend, "I'm really trying to be disciplined with my money this month." And then, you still clicked confirm order. Here is the uncomfortable truth we need to discuss today. Being smart does not protect you from dumb money decisions. In fact, sometimes it makes you worse. Because the more intelligent you are, the more sophisticated your excuses become. Today, we're going to look at the psychological glitches that bypass your IQ and drain your bank account. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to show you the one question that can stop a bad financial decision in its tracks, even when your brain is screaming at you to hit buy. We love the myth that money is logical. We treat it like math, addition, subtraction, compound interest. But if money was just math, nobody would be in credit card debt and everyone would start saving at 22. The reality? Money isn't math. It's memory. It's ego. It's fear. Think about the last time you were stressed at work. Maybe your boss undermined you or a project failed. In that moment, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that understands your 401k, basically shuts down. Your limbic system takes over. Your nervous system doesn't care about your long-term ROI. It cares about immediate relief. This is why spending feels like self-care. It gives you a tiny, chemical illusion of control. When the world feels chaotic, add to cart feels like you're actually doing something. You're improving your environment. You're moving forward. Smart people are the most dangerous here because they don't just shop, they rationalize. You don't say, "I'm sad, so I'm buying a jacket." You say, "I've analyzed my wardrobe, and this high-quality piece is a strategic investment in my professional brand." See the difference? Your IQ just gave your impulse a tuxedo. This is the part that stings. You don't buy things, you buy identity. Think about the activewear industry. Billions of dollars are spent on gym clothes that never see a drop of sweat. Why? Because you aren't buying polyester. You're buying the version of yourself that is disciplined, consistent, and athletic. You buy the $2,000 masterclass not for the information, which is probably on YouTube for free, but because buying it makes you feel like a serious entrepreneur. Psychology calls this identity-based decision-making. We spend money to bridge the gap between who we are and who we want to be. But here's the smart person trap. If you see yourself as an intellectual or a visionary, you will spend money to protect that label. You might buy into a risky crypto project or a complex tax strategy, not because the math is solid, but because you want to feel like the person who sees what others don't. When your identity is on the line, logic isn't even in the room. You aren't investing, you're posturing for your own ego. There's a specific arrogance that comes with being good at your job. If you're a great engineer or a skilled doctor or a high-level manager, you start to believe that competence is transferable. You think, "I'm analytical. I can figure out the housing market." But markets don't care about your resume. This leads to the illusion of control. You research harder. You spend 6 hours on Reddit threads and analyst reports. And because you've put in the work, you feel like you've lowered the risk. But you haven't. You've just increased your attachment to the outcome. The smartest people in the room are often the ones who hold on to a failing investment the longest. Why? Because admitting you were wrong doesn't just cost you money, it threatens your status as the smart one. Your brain would literally rather lose $5,000 than admit it made a $5,000 mistake. We call it sunk cost fallacy, but let's call it what it really is: ego protection. Even if you're a hermit, your money decisions are social. We are tribal animals. In the wild, being behind the tribe meant death. Today, being behind just means your high school friend bought a house and you're still renting. But your brain processes that behind feeling as a legitimate threat. This is why smart people make desperation moves. You see a peer's success, and suddenly your 7% steady return feels insulting. You feel like you need to catch up. So you take on more leverage, you buy the luxury car to look the part for networking, or you pivot your strategy. You aren't making a financial move, you're trying to quiet your comparison anxiety. And the worst part? Smart people hide this under the guise of ambition. But ambition is looking forward. Comparison is looking sideways. One builds wealth, the other just builds a facade. So, what's the solution? Is it a better budget app? A new spreadsheet? No, it's self-awareness. Intelligence is a tool, but it's a tool that can be used to build a house or a cage. If you want to stop making dumb money decisions, you have to stop asking, "Is this a good deal?" and start asking, "What am I trying to feel right now?" Are you trying to feel secure, superior, validated? The next time you're about to move money, try this. Imagine no one could ever see this purchase. If it didn't change your status and you couldn't tell a single soul about it, would you still do it? If the answer is no, you aren't buying a product, you're buying an emotion. And once you see that, the smart person trap loses its power. You don't need to be a math genius to be good with money. You just need to be honest. Because the real skill isn't intelligence, it's awareness. If you rewatch this, you might realize the first mistake wasn't financial at all. It was the moment you stopped being honest with yourself. Hit like if this hit home. Subscribe for more psychology on the things that actually matter. And before you go, check out this video here on why your brain hates saving for the future.